One of the most exciting projects currently underway at Brockford Station is the restoration of Hudswell Clarke Ford's or standard 14-inch outside cylinder class 060 saddle tank locomotive. This locomotive is of great significance in that it is an updated version of number 823 of 1908, Walton Park, a locomotive that ran on the East Kent Light Railway and two other Colonel Stevens lines. The smoke box, which is clearly visible here, is one of the features that was redesigned between the building of the two locomotives. Here can be seen some of the boiler plates and springing, little altered in design from the 1880s. This is the right-hand cylinder and leading portion of the footplate valance. More details can be seen here from the right-hand side, including the replacement cab, the inverted U-shaped Leeds pattern firebox, more springing and the clack valve. This is the backhead of the Hudswell locomotive, showing the regulator gland and partially replaced gauge glass fittings. This is part of the area between the mainframes, with part of the brake rigging and left-hand valve rod just visible. This rear view shows the painted area of the replacement cab, whose design is unaltered from 1901. Here is a cast wheel centre made to a design dating back to 1917. Walton Park used an earlier pattern similar to the now preserved number 1208 of 1916. One differing feature on 1604 from Walton Park is its circular leading sandboxes. Similar sandboxes can be found on the Middleton Railway's Hudswell Diesel D577 of 1932 Mary. This is the replacement saddle tank for the Hudswell locomotive. The design harks back to the 1890s. By way of contrast with the last few illustrations, here is an undated view of Walton Park on the East Kent Railway. Although there are detailed differences between the two locomotives, the overall similarities with number 1604 are well evident, although the earlier patterns of smoke box and wheel centres on Walton Park will be noticed. Note also the prominent blower pipe passing outside the saddle tank. The other steam locomotive of classic light railway pattern to be found today at Brockford is a representative of the London North Eastern Railway Y7 class 040 tank design. These locomotives began life as the North Eastern Railway H class, of which 21 specimens were built between 1888 and 1897. The sole survivor of this group, North Eastern Railway 1310, is normally based on the Middleton Railway, but it is seen here at Beamish Museum in 2012. So successful did the Gateshead-built H's prove that the L.N.E.R built 5 further examples, with a few modifications, at Darlington in 1923, taking along with the earlier locomotives the Y7 classification. 3 of these were sold into industry, of which one had seen service on the North Sunderland Railway prior to 1951. Sister locomotive, L.N.E.R 985, is currently based on the Middy, but it is seen here at Beamish in 2012. It was hoped that number 985 would be operational for the 2025 season, but on April 19th its boiler was still out for repair on the North Norfolk Railway. This view shows a distinctive inside cylinder chassis with the cab in the background in the workshop at Brockford.
Firstly, when was number 1604 acquired? I'm not really sure. It was certainly a long time before I arrived here.
And again.
Here's a man who probably knows.
What's that?
When was 1604 brought here?
Well, yeah, that's a long time ago. I'm not going to thought we tore it around when we got it, yeah. Yeah, I started in 1990, so...
It's got to be around 90s, isn't it?
It's in the 90s.
It's in the 90s, I think.
Why did you pick this particular locomotive?
I don't think we did pick this particular locomotive. I think it was offered to us.
Yeah.
It was at N.E.R, I think, originally.
Yeah.
And it was offered, and it was taken on as a possible project with the intention of getting it up and running.
Were you aware of the locomotive's close relationship to Walton Park, which ran on 3 Corners Stevens railways?
What, this particular loco?
Yes.
No, I have no idea it had any relation to that at all.
What condition was the locomotive in on acquisition?
A tinworm had ravaged it. It was in a real poor state. In fact, we have the original smoke box door on one of the beams. It's hanging on one of the beams in the shed, just to remind us of what the state was when it first arrived. It was in very poor condition, but I think the underframe was such that people decided that actually it might be viable to restore.
What particular items of work have been done in this restoration?
The wheels have been sent away to be retired and reprofiled. It's had new crank pins in the wheels. Most of the underframe is original. It's just been overhauled and made good. The major parts, the boiler, that was sent away to Mervyn Mays in Yaxham. He has done a sterling job on doing the complete overhaul. He managed to salvage the original copper firebox for us, so that's good. The other major work is the cab. Is completely new. That was made by volunteers here, cut from sheet metal with a jigsaw. We've had a brand new water tank made, which is the next thing to go on. There's a brand new smoke box with smoke box door. I think a new blast pipe. There's quite a number of new parts. We've got new injectors. There's going to be new pipe work. I think a lot of the backhead fittings are original. So really you can say the underframe and the backhead fittings are probably the only bits that are original, apart from the cab windows, I suppose. Rest of it's all been made.
How much work has been done on the cylinders in motion?
I think that was done before I arrived, before I got here. I think they were dismantled and checked over. I don't think there's been a great deal done to it. I don't think anything was replaced.
How easy has it been to procure the requisite materials and labour to restore the loco?
Labour's a good one. I think we were about a third team of volunteers to be working on it. One team dismantled it, another team had a play with it, and we're the third team to try to bring it back to life. It's obviously really difficult to volunteers. You know, most volunteers have got lots of enthusiasm, but what we require is volunteers with skills, and we're lucky enough to have machinists, people who've worked in the aircraft industry, in the auto industry. So at the minute we've got lots of skills, and we're actually asking people outside of this organisation to come and help us. People who've built steam engines before are coming in and helping us. That's the main thing. So what else was you asking there?
Well, how easy has it been to procure the requisite materials and labour?
Materials, well, it's mostly is raw materials. We've had various castings made for parts that we haven't got. There's a clack valve was missing. We only had one clack valve. We had a new pattern made for that, and that was cast in bronze. And we've a machinist here who's done all the necessary machining work on it to make us a brand new clack valve. It's not difficult. I think it all depends on whether or not you want the restoration to be exactly as it was when it was first produced. In our case, I mean, we're going to use metric fittings and fixings. We want it to look as it was originally, rather than actually making it so that it's a proper concourse restoration.
The question perhaps you were dreading, when do you anticipate it being ready?
Yes. The boiler was originally lifted in 2008. The boiler came back and was fitted back into the frames in 2018. So it's really quite a long project. There's a very small team of volunteers, very small team of us working on it. We do what we can as and when we can. I think the idea was that we were going to try to have it up and running this year, I think, wasn't it? That was the original plan, but things never quite work out that way. So we're sort of relying on engines from other railways to come in and do the work for us while we're busy putting this loco back together. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get it done in the next couple of years, because the boiler at the minute is unfinished. It's not tubed. We didn't want it to be tubed because that would have meant they would have had to steam test it, give it a certificate, and we didn't want it coming back with a 10-year certificate and then us to take 9 years to put it back together again. So the plan was bring the boiler back unfinished, then we will build a complete engine. Once we know we've got everything we need, then the boiler will come out, go back, be finished, certified, and then given back to us, and then it should only take months to put it back together again because we know we've got all the parts. But at the minute there's still quite a lot of the parts we don't know what we need. We're going to need all new pipe work, so I'm thinking it's probably going to take another couple of years at least.
Will the locomotive be available to visit other heritage railways?
I should think so. I think that's the plan, isn't it? That we would, I don't see any reason why not. It could be a case of, we'll loan you ours if you can loan us yours. It's that sort of an arrangement. But yeah, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't be able to loan it to anyone else.
Well, I mentioned to you about the locomotive's resemblance to Walton Park. Now really, this locomotive is part of a group of a sort of commonwealth, if you like, of light railways locomotives, spread around lines like the Middleton Railway and Beamish and Kentney Sussex, of course, with Marcia, which you've had visiting.
We've had it,
yes. Now, would you favour a policy in future that favoured those sort of locomotives as visitors?
Yeah, I think so, wouldn't we? At the moment, we have somebody who has been in the heritage railways scene for a long time, knows a lot of people, and knows of a lot of locomotives, and he asks the question, is there a chance that we can loan this loco for a period of time? So we never have anything really large here. We tend to concentrate on the small industrials. As you can see from the locos that we've got outside, they're the ones that we tend to go for. They suit our line perfectly.
Right, I'll see you, gentlemen. I'm off.
Cheerio.
I'm going for a couple of hours tomorrow. See you later.
Well, in the past, I've noticed, your resident locomotives, of course, the Y7 and the Hudswell 1604 are very much relevant light railway locomotives, yes, because of their historical connections. Now, recent visitors, of course, that have been relevant are Sir Berkeley out there, Marcia, because of its close family resemblance to Chelsea of the Chelsea tramway, Whittington, of course, because it was a Whittington Light Railway loco, Mitchell, of course, because it was on the Mid-Valley Light Railway. As a mainline representative, of course, you had the Y14/J15 at some stage, and also the Terrier, of course, because Terriers were quite prominent on the Colonel Stevens railways.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I have these down as possible futures.
There you go. Yeah, go for it.
Manning Model M-Class Newcastle from Beamish.
I heard that name mentioned this morning, actually.
Would that interest you?
Yeah, I think it might do.
Now, the de facto M-Class was formerly Abonant, which is now under restoration at Workshop X. Now, of course, that is a dead ringer, apart from its non-original smoke box, for a Whittington loco, of course.
Right.
So, would that interest you?
I think it might do if it was available, wouldn't it? Anything's possible, isn't it? I think.
If it was in workable condition.
If it's in working order and we don't have to...
Well, it's also, all of this is subject to workable condition.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yes. Now, the other Manning Model L-Class on the Middleton Railway, Matthew Murray, a classmate, of course, of Lady Stevenson, the contractor's loco that helped build this line.
Yeah.
Would that be of interest to you?
Anything that's associated with the Mid-Suffolk Light Railway is a definite yes.
There's a de facto L, of course, in the Black Country Museum called Winston Churchill.
Right.
Now, again, this is subject to it being available and restored, but would that be of interest to you?
No, I think it might be. You're giving me names of locomotives that I'm not familiar with,
The next one you will be.
what they look like.
Hudswell Clarke, 1539, 1924 Hale, which of course is another ex-Whittington loco.
Right.
It's identical to Whittington.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that would be a definite candidate.
Hudswell Clarke, 402, 1893, Lord Mayor on the Worth Valley Railway. Now that's virtually identical to Mac of the Whittington Railway.
Right.
That be of interest to you?
To put it in a nutshell, I think anything 040 or 060 is definite, potentially useful.
But we have another one on the restoration, another Hudswell Clarke counter-Savoic class like Whittington and Hale. It's called Julia, and that very nearly became Easing Mill Railway number 3, so that's got good railway connections as well.
Yeah.
Interest to you?
Yes.
Now, a little bit more indirect, because it doesn't have direct railway connections, but it's very much that sort of loco. Hunslet 469 of 1888 Hastings. You familiar with that one?
I've heard that name mentioned before.
Now we've also the two Sentinels, the one ex-Great Western one, and the one ex-London North Eastern one. Now, of course, the shop from Montgomeryshire have a loco like this on trial, so they do have railway connections?
Yes, well, it'd certainly be different to what we'd normally run, but I think we'd be interested in anything different purely as an attraction. People would be attracted to anything that's not quite the same as we would normally run.
Again, another indirect one, but it ran on the Colonel Stevens Railway, the Buryport and Gundreath Valley. That's Pontyburn, which is of course under restoration now, and that's at the Flower Workshops.
Right.
Of interest to you?
If I knew what it looked like, it probably would be. Is it an 060 or an 04?
It's an 060 still, I think. Outside
Yeah.
Now, from a diesel point of view, there's an Armstrong Whitworth loco identical to the one that ran on North Sunderland Railway. That be of interest to you?
Not very.
No. Diesels. We've got two. We've got two diesel locos here, which are used for general shunting operations.
We have access to 48, which was the only diesel that ever ran on the Mid-Suffolk Light Railway, and that's been stationed here for many years. It's away from us at the moment, but we can get it back pretty much any time we like, can't we?
My only trouble with that one was it was responsible for pulling the line up rather than building it. So.
Two other mainline contenders. South Eastern Railway 01 class 060 number 65. Now this is a Bluebell loco, but of course it served a lot of time on the East Kent Railway in its latter years.
Yeah, I think I know the Bluebell loco. I think I did a footplate experience on that one. It's a nice little engine, and yes, if it was available, I think I'd be happy to see that here.
Another Bluebell loco, the Adams Radial, London South Western Railway 488, of course another East Kent Railway loco.
A little large, I feel. We'd have to stick to 060s and 040s. We wouldn't really be able to have anything bigger. I think the first one on the line, the J15, that was an 060 with a tender, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So our line wouldn't really be suitable for anything bigger.
Finally, are you interested in austerities? Because of course they're associated with the Thetford and Montgomeryshire Railway in wartime years.
I think we have been offered an austerity in the past along with other locos, but we tended to sort of steer away from it because it was so large.
Steve, many thanks for your time.
No, pleasure.